What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures Starscream, also known as the Seeker Strike Starscream. So we haven't looked at a lot of Cyberverse. I just looked at one figure before, the Siren Shot Prowl. And so I decided to take a look at this Starscream. He does also come with some nice accessories, and we'll take a look at those. But let's get on the detail. You get that nice silver paint with the red eyes for the face. I think this is also this gray or blackish gray paint. You have the red paint here, the silver on the chest, translucent orange here for the cockpit with the black detail around it. That will become the cockpit in the vehicle mode. We'll take a look at that. Continuing down, you have some silver detail here. You have the blue on the shins, gray on the sides there. Red stripes on the back. You've got additional red stripes, and then the Decepticon tampoed logo looks really nice, and some blue detail here. So a really nice paint job so far overall. It does come with quite a few accessories. So you do get these guns slash null rays. You can use them traditionally and put them into the side of his arms. Normally they go up here, but there's no spot for them, but you can put them here. Or you can put them in his hand just like a normal handgun or rifle. And I prefer the look on the side there. So that looks very Starscreamy. You can also get these weapons effects parts. So these are this translucent orange. Same kind of similar kind of thing that we got with the Siren Shot Prowl. So you can get these pegged in. This is the same system. There's a little peg at the end of the gun, and that's going to fit into the weapons effects parts. And now he can be shooting some Autobots with his blast effects here. These are a little bit bent coming out of the box. You can just heat them up and that'll straighten that out a little bit. Lastly, it comes with this effect right here. These are the chest missiles, actually 3 of them, which is really cool. And there's 2 little tabs, either here or here. You can plug those into those tabs. It seems to go one way. There we go. And so you can pretend like he's got those chest missiles coming out of his chest, which is really cool. That's a cool little effect. We haven't seen a lot of those. Even on the Cyberverse figures, we haven't seen a lot of this kind of effect. I have seen these, but this is really neat. So they painted these red on the end. That looks good. All right, let's go over his articulation. I'll just set this aside here. So the head is on a ball joint. You get a really ton of movement. It goes all the way up to there, down to there. It rotates around. You get a little bit of side to side on that. The shoulder is on a ball joint that goes up to there. It does rotate around. It does get hindered by this wing, but you can fold that wing. So if you prefer the look with the wings kind of flared back like that, you can. And then you can rotate the arm all the way around. Rotation at the bicep. Single jointed elbow gets you a little past 90 degrees. You have a rotation at the wrist, and you can move that gun in and out of the way. You have a rotation at the waist, although it's below his crotch, so it's a little bit strange, but it does work just fine. The legs go up to there, back to there, hindered a little bit by this backpack, out to the side, all in friction on a ball joint. Your rotation at the mid-thigh. A single jointed knee gets you well past 90 degrees due to the transformation. You can get him in some pretty awesome poses just because of that. And then you get ankle tilt all the way up to there, and ankle rocker. You can actually kind of take this apart and you can get down to there, or looks like a little bit up as well from using the heel. So you can get some pretty good articulation on this guy, especially considering how small he is and how price point for him, $20, pretty good. And for a size comparison, there he is next to the Earthrise Optimus. So he doesn't fit. He's a little too small. These Cyberverse have been interesting, so I haven't really been able to figure out, what scale are they going for. They're deluxe price point and deluxe scale, but it's a little strange because the Prowl, which I don't have anymore, the Prowl is actually bigger, much bigger. Right? It actually fits in well with the Earthrise line. But then this Starscream is just kind of small and scrawny. So I don't really understand the scale on the Cyberverse figures, but there you go. He can be battling Optimus with all that armory. All right, now let's get Starscream transformed into his vehicle mode. Go ahead and take off all these effects. And we're gonna leave the guns on his arms because they end up in the spot they're in the vehicle mode, so that's okay. And come to the back here, unfold these heels and just leave those out straight. You're going to have them basically extended out like that. Right. Come to the front here. We're going to take apart this. If it hasn't already, it looks like it had already come apart. But you're basically going to pull these apart. That's going to open up his arms and his chest. And that'll give you access to this here. So go ahead and take this. And you're going to open up the head. And that'll allow you to fold this entire piece outwards. So it's actually easier if you grab here and pull outwards on that. Go ahead and fold this panel down. So right here. Take this chest, open this up. Traditional Starscream type of chest. You're going to fold this downwards. The head's going to end up inside. And then we're going to close this up. And that's going to sit on the bottom like that. Right. So you can kind of see this is going to make the front of the jet. Next we're going to take the legs, rotate them around at the thigh. And that's going to allow you to take these and peg them together. Like so. Then you can take the legs and accordion them down so they come together like this. And next we're going to take this part here. Just make sure this stays down. This is supposed to be part of the front of the ship there. You can take this piece here, and that's going to peg into the bottom of the legs, now that those are there. So go ahead and get that pegged in, and that'll kind of solidify the front. Now you can take these and fold these up. These are going to peg together, so go ahead and get these pegged in. And now you can put this tab into this slot right here. There you go. That one doesn't sit, too securely, but it does peg in there. And last, we're going to take care of all these wings. So go ahead and take the arm, and you're going to rotate so that this this tab is facing upwards. Same with this side, rotate the arm so that tab is facing upwards. Then you're going to take these wings, and these wings are going to come down and peg the arms into the side of the legs. And then you take these, and these are going to come down and peg into the bottom of there. And the arms should actually work their way into the wings. If they didn't, then just get them pegged in both sides. All right, straighten out the wings. And there is Seeker Strike Starscream in his vehicle mode. Let's take a quick look. You do have that classic translucent orange cockpit, the nose cone. Obviously the shape of the vehicle is different than the G1. It matches more with the actual Cyberverse cartoon. Here's the underside, pretty clean. Not a lot of, waffliness. There's a little bit here, but for the most part, pretty clean. Here's the back. That's also pretty well done. Overall, nice looking Starscream. You can actually leave these on if you wanted to on the null rays, which are now his guns in vehicle mode. And those look nice. He can be shooting back at the good guys with his null rays. You can also take this if you prefer. You can use this peg right here, that pink peg in the front, and just get that pegged on there. It is a little bit tight, so you gotta kind of hold this down. But you should be able to, yeah, there you go. Nope. There you go. So now he can be firing all of his weapons as he flies along, which is pretty cool. You can, if you prefer, you can rotate these wings up for a slightly different look, although I think that's more for the robot mode, but that is the option if you want to use that. overall, pretty clean, cool looking vehicle mode. And for comparison, there he is next to the Earthrise Runabout. And yes, I know you guys are probably getting sick of seeing Earthrise Runabout. He is my comparison for almost every retail Transformer, but fortunately that's what we're going to use because I really like him. Anyway, again, the scale really doesn't make any sense with these Cyberverse figures. We saw that Prowl was the exact same size as this, but yet the Starscream seems kind of tiny. So I don't really know. I'd have to look at the show. I don't watch the show. Maybe it's accurate, but I really don't know. Now let's get him back into his robot mode. Go ahead and take these off. It's just easier. It's not in your way. Go ahead and unpeg this from the front, and you can just fold those back and out. Go ahead and open up the arms, so unpeg it from the top, and then you can also unpeg it from the sides. And that's going to release kind of everything up in here. You can open up these wings a little bit as well. You should be able to unpeg this from the front, and that'll allow you to take the legs and accordion them down, unpeg them from each other, rotate them around, and then fix his foot so it's flat like that, and then take the heel spur, and it should fold up so that it ends up on the back like that. So same on this side, fold that up, fold up the heel spur, and then there you go. All right, now we'll come to the top here. So open up this panel here, allow his head to come out, and we're going to take this panel, and that's going to end up pegging into the front. And then this entire assembly is going to rotate down into his chest cavity here. Let me just take this out. So rotate this down, rotate this part down, and that whole chest is just going to sit right in there and all kind of meet up. Make sure you have this back. This is going to tab in to the back, so you can feel that just tab in. Open up these wings, or the tail fins rather, and then you can fold this panel down, and it's going to fit in back here. Same on this side, fold this in, it's going to fit in back here. Give the tail a squeeze together. It actually pegs together, which is an interesting design. Rotate the arms to the front. Final thoughts on the Cyberverse Starscream. I think it's really cool. I was really surprised. He's pretty darn dynamic because of the posing and the articulation he's giving you. Plus, you've got these weapons effects. I mean, it really is kind of a fun figure. I'm surprised by this. And that's kind of why I decided to review it. It's just, it really surprised me that a toy line like Cyberverse is making a figure this good. It's painted, it's got accessories, it's very posable, it looks good in both modes. It's only got a little bit of kibbliness here and there. But overall, very impressive, especially if it's considered a kid's line or a kid's toy. It's really good. It's very well done. So if you are collecting the Cyberverse, I definitely recommend it. It's a fun figure, and the weapons effects are definitely cool. Those just add to the fun factor. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.